Hello, hello! Welcome back to Brenda's Books. This is episode 14 of season 2. Thank you for coming back to listen to more of Sara's War. Today we are on chapter 16, The Ball. Here we go. This is going to be a long night. Relief is finally organized the way I want it, which would be great if it weren't the very night of the army ball. Everyone else is out dancing, and I'm stuck here alone with nothing left to do. I lean over and thump my elbows on the counter and groan into my hands. Why do I have to be so blasted thorough? I mutter out loud. Wait, I have lots of medical journals I can read. I curve my way through the halls to my office and rummage through my bookshelves. Ooh, liver transplants. I open it up to read the first page, then snap it shut once I realize it's the story about the very first liver transplant. I already know this story, and it's a sad one. No reason to relive it. Nothing else I see catches my interest, at least not enough to keep my mind off evening gowns and music and dancing. Then I spot some files on my desk that haven't been labeled, so I sit to complete the small task. Once I realize I mislabeled 3 of the 4 files, I decide what I really need is a hot shower. My steps are slow and sluggish as I drag myself out of the stale silence of relief and into the hollow silence of the stairwell. I push open the door of my private quarters, then stop short at the sight in front of me. I stand in the doorway for a solid minute, just gaping. There it is, hanging from the knob of my dresser, the most beautiful scarlet dress I have ever seen. I rush across the room and halt right in front of it. Lexy, you're back! Is this your dress? I call out. I look toward the bathroom, expecting her to be inside. But the door is wide open and the bathroom is empty. I take a quick glance around the room and find no one. As I examine the dress further, I find a note written on parched paper, punched through the hanger. I thought you could use this tonight. You will look great. See you at the ball. Lexy. No, I gasp out loud. How did she manage this? I feel a squeal rising up in my throat. I hold the dress against my body for evaluation. It's a simple dress, with 3/4 length sleeves and no waistline. The length of it flows down to barely cover my knees. Definitely not very formal or fancy, but pretty perfect. After all, it certainly beats my faded uniform. I slide my hands through the material. Silk. Okay, never mind. It definitely is fancy. I haven't felt something so nice in years, probably. Lying on top of my dresser is another unexpected treasure. Shiny black character shoes. Did I tell Lexy I was a dancer in my previous life? I don't remember mentioning it. I hold one shoe up to the bottom of my foot. Looks like it might fit. Oh, I can't believe it. I'll be able to do some real dancing tonight. Next to my shoes lay a little bag made of fake fur. I untie the ribbons, and inside I find black mascara, a case of eyeshadow with an assortment of 4 different colors, 3 colors of blush, beige powder, and red lipstick. Lying next to the bag is a curling iron, hairspray, and a razor. Wow, Lexy thought of everything. Did she own these already, or did she buy all of this? A twinge of guilt trickles through me. When will I be able to pay her back? Maybe I shouldn't go after all. The thought hits me like a falling rock. No, Lexy wouldn't go through all this trouble if she didn't really want me to use them. I deliberate for a moment, and then my decision is made. It's definitely time to take that hot shower. The ballroom, really the meeting hall, is decorated just as fancy and elegant as Lexy promised. Streamers of silver and gold drape across the room. Silver sparkling stars dangle from the ceiling. Tall green trees dressed in lights of gold dot each wall. A large disco ball hangs from the center of the ceiling, spinning and glowing with shades of all colors. An ear-splitting rock song is playing from the fat speakers next to me. Not exactly ballroom material, but that doesn't matter. However, I do feel the urge to cover my ears, so I meander my way across the hall to relieve them from the booming beat. The lights are low all around, and just one couple is dancing. They're kicking and jumping and waving their arms directly underneath the disco ball. I guess it's dancing, but they're having fun and that's what counts. Everyone else is clambered together along the walls, leaving the center circle of the room looking very large and empty. I take a moment to soak it all in. The chatter all around is loud, gleeful, happy. Sudden bursts of laughter prick the air. What a refreshing change this is! The men are suited up in their strapping dress uniforms, and the women are all in gowns of pink, yellow, red, blue, and every other color. Some of them are skimpy and tight, and others are elaborate with ruffles and shiny things. I even spot a few actual ballroom dresses, with hoops inside the hem. Sara, you came! I twirl around to see an abnormally elegant Lexy. Hey! I exclaim, embracing her in a massive hug. Thank you, Lexy. I can't believe you went to all that trouble for me. Thank you so much. She hugs me back. I'm glad you decided the ball would be worth your time. She has to yell to be heard over the deafening music. Well, we'll see, I shout with a smile. I step back to examine Lexy's new getup. Her hair is glued in her normal elongated spikes, but she has on a long silk black dress that touches the floor. She must be wearing high heels because now she's a good 2 inches taller than me. Her sleeveless bodice is completely covered with diamond-looking sparkles. Her dark purple eyeshadow matches her purple shiny lips. Wow, Lexy, talk about beautiful. Look at you. Lexy rolls her eyes. Oh, please. Did you pick that dress just to show off your muscles? I put my bicep next to hers and we both flex. The comparison is outrageous. That's insane, I say, but my gawking soon turns to horror as I notice the scars that stretch the length of her arms. I've never seen her without long sleeves before. Then I remember, she had been a Liechtenstein hostage. What did those cads do to her? Sara! Lexy pulls me out of my reverie. What? I blink, coming back to the present. Do you like your dress? She asks. Oh, yes! Are you kidding? This is perfect. I owe you big time. Where did you get it? Lexy shrugs. I don't remember where I found it. Let me see your hair. I tilt my head forward so she can see the several tiny braids on top. They're tied to an end whence they reach my crown, and the rest of my hair flows freely with curls just past my shoulders. I like it, Lexy says with a smile. It's unique. It suits you. Thanks. Lexy, you have to tell me how much you spent on everything. I want to pay you back. No, she protests. Yes, I insist. You're crazy, Sara. It was a gift. Don't mention it again, she warns with a finger. I smile. Good old school teacher Lexy again. Just then, a tall man approaches us. We both look up at him. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow. Oh, wow. Colonel Haskins stands in his formal dress uniform, decorated with a plethora of badges and ribbons. As impressive as his uniform is, that's not what strikes me. He, on the other hand, is certainly... Wow! What is it about him? His face, his lips, he's just... handsome. On an unfathomable level. Hello, ladies, he greets us in his rich voice. Jack! Lexy cries. The two of them give each other a high five. Look who decided to come. Then he looks at me and nods. His countenance appears friendlier than usual. Hello, he says with a warm smile. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you, Colonel. It's good to see you again, I say. It's good to see you too, he replies. Doesn't Sara look amazing? Lexy exclaims, giving the Colonel a teasing look. Without thinking, I slap Lexy's arm with the back of my hand. What is she doing? Hey, she whines. You know better than to get in a fight with me. The Colonel chuckles deeply. Yes, there's no fighter like Lexy, he says light-hearted. But I see him shoot Lexy a disparaging look. Well, doesn't she? Lexy presses anyway. Jack glances toward Lexy for a moment, and then back at me. An easy smile spreads across his face. Yes, you do. Thank you, I say half-heartedly. Gee, I've always wanted a forced compliment. I look around the room, not quite sure what else to do. The music changed to a rhythmic techno song. The kind that makes you move without thinking. The once large empty space is now filled with manic dancers. Out of nowhere, someone bumps into me, nearly knocking me over. "Oh, I'm sorry," says the laughing voice. "Are you okay? I really didn't mean—" "Wait, Sara?" "Yeah, who—" "Nate!" In an instant, I'm squashed in a tight bear hug, swinging around in a circle. "I can't believe it's you," Nate calls out, forgetting his mouth is next to my ear. I laugh out loud. I don't know if it's the thrill of being spun or the thrill of seeing Nate again. He sets me down on my feet, grabs both my hands, and takes a step back to look at me. "Wow, Sara, you look incredible. I mean, you were hot before, but tonight—" "Oh, stop. You look pretty great yourself. How have you been, anyway?" "Oh, you know, all my friends are dying. Same old stuff," Nate says, half serious. I try to smile back. "But what about you? Are you—" He stops as he spots Jack and Lexy staring at us. "Are you with a date?" he asks, eyeing the Colonel. "Oh, no," I answer. I gesture toward Lexy and Jack. "Let me introduce you to my friends. Nate, this is Lexy. She's my roommate." Lexy and Nate shake hands. "It's nice to meet you," Lexy says warmly. Nate turns Lexy's hand over and kisses it. "Well, it is a pleasure," he says, sounding overly debonair. Lexy just stares at him with a wide grin. "And this is—" I start to say. I don't know how to introduce the Colonel. Colonel Haskins seems too formal for the setting, but Jack seems too personal. "Hi, I'm Jack," says the Colonel, holding out his hand to Nate. It's clear that Nate's a little uncomfortable next to Jack. Jack is taller than most tall men, and Nate is shorter than most short men. Back in my high school dance academy, Nate and I were always put together as partners because I was the only girl who was shorter than him, and it was only by half an inch. Despite his discomfort, however, Nate clasps Jack's outstretched hand with a firm grip. "It's nice to meet you," he says. Jack nods and they both drop their hands at once. "So," Nate cries in a loud voice, "you got your eye on Sara here?" he asks Jack, pointing to me with his head. I feel like slapping him also, but I'm too mortified. Jack laughs easily. "It would be hard not to," he says, glancing at me. "I know, right? Sara, you do look—" Nate pauses as he turns in my direction. "No way! You still blush at anything." "Shut up, Nate," I say. "Oh, come on, just embrace it." Then he turns back to Lexy and Jack. "You should see this woman dance. She received one of the 5 offered dance scholarships to Brown University." Lexy and Jack both stare at me with obvious astonishment. "Seriously?" Lexy asks. I raise my eyebrows and shrug. "Oh yeah," Nate continues. In fact, his excited voice changes with a new sense of urgency. "One night after a performance in Providence, 5 guys," he holds up 5 spread out fingers, 5 guys from the audience asked her out. 2 of them she hadn't even met before. Jack and Lexy are completely focused on Nate now. "Okay, Nate, that's enough," I reprimand. Nate gives me a fleeting glance. "Shush, you!" But of course, Sara was too good to do anything about it. "Nate," I chide again, but this time he ignores me. And another night after a performance, one guy— "Nate!" I shout. All 3 heads shift to look at me. I give Nate a sardonic smile. "I will tell my life story if I want to." Nate glowers at me for a moment and then shrugs. "I don't know why you don't brag more. It's fun. I do it all the time." This time my smile is genuine. Talk means nothing. Why don't you show something? Do you want to dance? Nate's eyes light up. "Oh, yeah." Then he glances at Lexy. "Will you save me a dance, my beautiful wonder?" he asks, returning to his debonair voice and another kiss on her hand. Lexy cracks a smile and gives him a mocking curtsy. "I'd be delighted." "Fantastic!" he exclaims. "Come on, Miss America," he calls to me. "Let's show these amateurs who's boss." He grabs my hand and pulls me through the crowd of hopping bodies. And that concludes Chapter 16. Don't worry, the ball is not over. It continues through the next chapter, which is called Back and Forth. So I hope you join me next week for more of the ball. If you want to find out more about Brenda's books, you can visit brendasbooks.net. Until next time, take care.